Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, how we doing today? How are we? We doing all right today? Hopefully we are doing fine. Fine, and fine. Uh-oh, the good sis done stopped through. Thank you, sweetheart, for your support and your contributions. If you've been under a rock, you need to crawl out from under it so that you can go and subscribe to the Good Sis channel, Danica Marie's Dope Discussions. I don't know where you've been if you don't know about the Good Sis, but thank you once again, sweetheart. Y'all go over there and give her you all support. I miss y'all too. Whenever I don't have a show, I miss y'all. But I'm going to tell y'all what it be. Because I typically don't plan, I don't schedule being off. But I'm going to tell you what it be. What it be is that sometimes my energy is not what it should be in order to give you a show. I'd rather not give you a show than give you a lackluster, I don't have nothing to talk about type of situation. I don't like coming on for the sake of coming on. I like coming on when I have something to give you. If that makes sense. Sometimes I'm not Crimson Cure. Sometimes I'm not Crimson Cure. And I can't be. Right? So I'd rather give you good energy, the energy that you come in and that you support and that you want to hear, instead of just showing up and not giving you much. And then you walk away like, what did I get out of that? I spent an hour and a half. For what? So I definitely I prefer quality over quantity, is what I'm trying to say. Quality over quantity. Oh, I got some stuff in the works too. Yeah, I got some stuff in the works. We're gonna have a whole new podcast. And I don't know if I want to put it on Patreon or if I wanted a membership only. I might make it a membership thing. I got a whole podcast that I'm going to start. Y'all are gonna love it, but I'm not gonna give it away. What I'm gonna do is get to these super chats. Thank you so much, Randy Johnson, for the love. Thank you so much. Go up just a tad. I always have to readjust this. Anyway, always readjusting. Thank you so much, Alistair. So reality finally hit Eboni K. Only partially. She getting barbecued today. Thank you, Jabrina said just because. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Miss Eboni K is still out here low-key lying. She's still out here low-key lying to these women, to these young women. You know, I don't give no cookies to a member of the sisterhood that has worked to spread the misinformation that has damaged so many generations of Black women. I don't give you no cookie for coming through at the 11th hour telling nobody no half truth. You just don't get a cookie for that from me. So I'm not about to pat her on the back. I'm not about to give her no big ups. She getting cooked today because of that. She should have stayed where she was at. Let me get to the rest of these. Thank you, Miss Mandisa. Says, ladies, we understand you trying to give us the Crimson Cure, not the Crimson Cause. I like that. Yes. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, Deeza, sending money for the Taylor Swift video. You have 5 years to be Mrs. Cartwright. She can't do it. They can't do it in no amount of time. Thank you, Miss 39 Dina. Thank you, sweetheart. And thank you, Miss Celine, just saying hi. How you doing, sweetie? Okay. All right, listen. We're going to talk about somebody else, but I was going to talk about it today, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. And I think I'm the one that's late because I was today years old when I realized that Tyrese's ex-wife, Samantha, is the Samantha Lee that run the YouTube channel. Did anybody? I didn't. I had to have that pointed out to me. My husband had to point that out to me. He said, you do realize that's the same woman. I said, get out of here. He said, no, it's the same woman. Did y'all, am I just the only one late, or did y'all know that already? Cause he had to connect that dot for me, baby. I ain't gonna lie to you. Try to make it sound fly to you. I did not. I just didn't, because I wasn't paying attention to who she was and who. I figure like I'm late. I said, oh, that's the same one. Cause I just didn't, I never put it together. We gonna discuss Miss Samantha Lee tomorrow. Like I said, I was gonna discuss her today, but when Eboni K popped up with this foolishness, I said, "Now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a hyena by its toe." Well, we gonna talk about this one. So, Miss Eboni K. Now, Miss Eboni has been going viral for the foolishness that she has been saying off and on. The biggest one was the conversation about the bus driver that she had with Auntie Iyanla. And then, baby, we gonna cook that tomorrow. Ooh, we gonna cook that tomorrow. She had the whole bus driver thing, and then she went viral again because she wanted to talk about urging women to be single mothers on purpose. Go get you some frozen. We going to get frozen nuts. Go figure. So we can have babies because we don't know how to have men. That didn't go over well. I cooked that. We're going to take a look at that. Now she's here, and I just want you to listen to the foolishness. Let me get to these super chats, and then we're going to hear the foolishness so that we can all be on one accord with the foolishness that we're talking about. How you doing? Thank you so much, Norman, for the contribution. Thank you once again, Miss Celine. Eboni K tried to be Mrs. Cartwright to Mr. McGillicuddy. Let's not forget that. Oh, we're not going to forget her attempt at being Mrs. Cartwright. Can never be Mrs. Cartwright. You're not gonna be Mrs. Cartwright. You'll never be Mrs. Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright said, "Nah, you're not gonna make me choose between you and my kids." The audacity. Thank you so much, Miss Lou Casey, for the super sticker, sweetheart. The audacity. You wanna quarantine with me or your kids? My kids. I don't know how long this quarantine gonna last, and you got attitude. I don't know how long this quarantine gonna last. You got an attitude. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You think you're too good to throw it back. What I want to quarantine with you for? You don't do nothing I want you to do, but I want to quarantine with you. I want to spend X amount of time in lockdown with you. You don't do nothing I want you to do, but I want to be in lockdown with you. You want to prance around here, you know what I'm saying? And cuddle up and watch little Netflix movies and slouch around in the house because there ain't nothing else for you to do. And every time I ask for, a little something, you know, girl, I might as well quarantine with my kids. I ain't gonna get no sex either way. So I might as well quarantine with folks that I love and that I know love me. Anyway. Let me remind you of her foolishness because I can't find the video no more. So I'm gonna remind you of her foolishness. This was when I did the video. I don't know if I talked through it or not, but let's go.
Black women are availing ourselves to all of the options that our hard work Black women consider. And
now I need you to just listen because this was back when I was having internet connection issues, but the audio played through. So just bear with it.
Even exercise. So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now. Because Black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests. And now that bypassing those insufficient relationships does not have to come at the expense.
Now, she called the relationships, the marriages and all that was insufficient. Remember how she did all of that? Remember how she talked all that crap about the relationship not being worth anything and bypassing it in order to become mothers. You remember this?
Of motherhood, well, frankly, it's a whole new world. a world in which Black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose, because now we get to do the choosing. And as we choose, we do have to contend with the reality of a dismally small supply of Black sperm. Because most Black women on this journey, we want to create children that look like us and that look like our families. And that means we want Black sperm. And as we heard from Reese Brooks, it's the definition of slim pickings. And sometimes that means compromising on this aspect of your journey.
Now, I'm going to stop sharing that. Now what I want you to do is take a look at what she's talking about now. Shout out to Medium Man for the clip.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. Mm-hmm.
Right.
You motherfuckers ain't ready for this.
As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year.
Damn.
No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women.
So this is the most recent numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau in regards to education.
I'm gonna have to get that little boy for a meme, because that has always been so hilarious to me. That little boy calculating. That little boy calculating is like one of the funniest memes. It never gets old. But anyway, I want y'all to listen to this particular part, and then we gonna cook.
Education. If you look at the highlighted area right there, if we break down, break the data down by gender, we find that 24.9% of African American men and 30.8% of African American women over the age of 25 have attained at least a bachelor's degree. Some 1.5 million Black women earned a master's degree, but no higher degree. Currently, there is a 5.9% difference in regards to degree obtainment from Black women to Black men.
Now, we're gonna continue, but I wanted to draw your attention to something that she did that was actually real slick of her, which is why I don't give her no accolades. She's not getting no cookies. She's not getting none of that from me. She's not getting none of that from me, because she's still out here half lying, and a half truth is a lie. A half truth is still a lie. Okay? Because she tried, you tried it, Ebony. You tried it, little mouth. But we're not gonna allow you to get away with it. You tried it, little mouth. But we're not. Okay? Because you still tried to be slick. Still slick talking. You too old to still be slick talking. You're too old to still be unable to drop down and come clean and be transparent about what has actually happened with you and women like you that chased your career, that chased your money, that chased this and chased that, and you thought that you was cute enough to delay marriage and children and relationships. You thought that your degree, you thought that your money, you thought that your career, you thought that the fact that you had a little piece of hair and a little light skin or whatever it is that you thought was an asset to you, you thought that would never go away, and that a man, some kind of idiot, some type of simp would always be right around the corner waiting on you to decide that you don't want to be in the street no more and you want to settle down. You thought that was what was going to happen. Little did you realize that the men that you wanted, the men that were in your financial tax bracket, the men that were in and around your profession, those men that had status, that had money, that you figured would be a come up and would make you look good to be with those men, that those men did not value any of the things that you quote unquote brought to the table. See, they don't want no woman that if they say what you bring to the table, she say, I am the table. No man that's worth the salt go in bread. And you know, but a little salt go in bread. Don't no man worth the salt go in bread. Won't no woman talking about she is the table. They don't like that. That is not valuable to them. That is not something that they find to be attractive or to be feminine or to be any of those things. Because they understand the level of masculinity that you got to have in order to climb certain corporate ladders and things of that nature. They understand what you had to do. So they don't want you. The very fact of the pursuit of your career and your degree in the aggressive manner that you pursued it is what disqualified you. That's what actually disqualified you. The fact that you pursued it to that degree and with that level of ferocity. Why was you doing that? These men do not like that. They don't value it. They see nothing in it that is attractive to them. For all of that degree talk, women like me pull them kind of men every day. For all that degree talk, women like me, the lionesses, we pull men like that all the time. See, unlike y'all hyenas in the boneyard, we actually have the value that doesn't depreciate. See, your looks depreciate. Your ability to reproduce depreciates over time. That's just the biological reality. Our prime fertile years is anywhere from like our teens into our 20s, possibly our early 30s, and then that starts dwindling down. What you haven't understood is that for women, for the lioness, that's the only thing that depreciate about us. The only thing that depreciate over time is the thing we can't help. That's biology. It's time. We can't help getting older. Can't help that. And can't help that as we get older, you just not the same fertility-wise, reproductive-wise at 42 than you was at 22. It's not the same. We know that. But that's the only thing that goes down. What we biologically cannot control. The rest of what we are actually goes up. Our femininity, our womanhood, our level of support, our level of submissiveness, our mindset, that wifely value, that personal market value, our reputation that we'd have built all these years, all of those things actually increase the value. It increases it. That value don't go down. In point of fact, it go up. The older you get as a lioness, you should actually be more adept at supporting and being a wife, not less, more. It's the stark difference between a hyena and a lioness. I'm sorry. I'm about to talk my stuff a little bit. I'm about to pop my hijab a little bit. You feel me? I'm about to pop my hijab just a little bit. The fact that I'm a lioness is why I was able to do twice what Ebony can't do once. It's why the lioness can do that. At this stage in the game, in 2023, I am rare. Lionesses are rare. So yeah, I'm about to pop my collar a little bit. Is what it is. 2 quality men in my life. First one was quality. This one is quality. She can't manage it once. I don't have a degree. I'm not worth $2-3 million or however whatever her net worth is. That's not my net worth. But for all of her little accolades or whatever, I have the life she wished she had. Me and other lionesses I know have the life she wished she had. Now you want to get on here and try to admit some type of real issue, Ebony? Now you want to get on here and try to tell young black women to go ahead and get married. Then you try to cap. The rate of black men going to college is so low. No, it's not. It's only a few percentages off, about 5% off. That's all it is. And black men still average more of an income than you do. Overall, we just went over them stats. Because the slickism was in the fact that she tried to position black men being college educated and degreed as the main, as the main point of eligibility. As the main factor of eligibility as a husband and as a man, he needed to be college educated. No, he don't. No, he don't. Because the jobs that make the money that's open to men is not open to you. On paper it is, because employers cannot discriminate based on sex and gender and blah, 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 blah. Technically, on the books, you could go and do it, but you're not going to go and do it. The professions that women have to go in that make 6 figures and all that type of stuff, you gotta go to school to get that. You gotta go to school to get that. If you're not savvy, men don't have to go to school to make that money. They don't have to go and get no masters to make that money. Because the type of labor and the type of jobs that men are going to do that women are simply not going to do, he don't need no degree to go in the ground and work on the sewer. He don't need no degree for that. He don't need no degree to climb the line to fix the electricity. He don't need no degree for that. He don't got to go get a master's to own a HVAC company. He ain't got to do all that. He don't need a master's degree to be on the construction site. Y'all are on the construction site holding that sign. He's on the construction site actually doing the work. Y'all won't even so much as be garbage men. Y'all won't even so much as do that. You don't want that job. To be stinking and filthy from head to toe. He don't need no master's degree to get a CDL and be the owner operator of a fleet of trucks. He don't need that. He gonna make his $150,000, $250,000 a year, ma'am. He don't gotta go and get no masters for that. So she's still disqualifying the blue collar man that didn't go to college to get what he got. She's still doing it. And she's still trying to make it the men's fault, quote unquote, that the women can't find the men by saying that the men are not there and that they are not eligible because they are not college educated. So you still up here lying. That's why she's not going to get no cookie. That's why I'm not giving no cookie, because she's still up here lying. Let me get to these super chats. Let's see who we got. Thank you, Dub Will said black sperm without black men, modern day breeding farm. Thank you so much. Thank you, JS said black sperm without black men. Tell me how this is different than plantation breeding and eugenics, harvesting DNA while dehumanizing the man. Exactly. Thank you so much, Ranger One. Hey, Crim Secure, just a reminder, the Golden Bachelor, come on tonight, ABC, Baby Boomer, Hypergamy. I know you will talk about it on your broadcast. You know what? That Golden Bachelor stuff, baby, that was so funny to me. I'm going to tell you, the only thing acceptable for an old woman, and I'm talking in her 60s and her 70s and stuff, still be looking for a man, is if she a widow. She was married all that time, and then her husband died maybe 5 years ago or something like that, and she just been covered all her life, so she want a husband because that's what she been a wife for the last 40 years, 35 years or something. She been a wife, so her husband died, so she want a that's the only thing. If y'all ain't been married after 6 decades in this world, baby, you so far gone, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, King James Taylor said the real reason Ebony is single is her bad attitude. Thank you so much, Strength is Lost. That talk that talk, Crimson. Much respect and shout out to Danica. Thank you, Common Man 80. And not really the reason black women aren't asked to be married in college is because most black women come to college with at least one or more children. No college educated black man wants that. Nope, that is a good point. Thank you once again. Say young black college educated men do not need a ready-made family when they get out of college. Most women in college get government grants and loans to go to college just because they have a child. That's actually a good point. Thank you, JW. Said, hey, Kendra, what's the name of your lipstick again? Off topic, but rarely I catch you. Will be attending the Crimson Church daily. I use Revlon. Thank Thank you, Key said, it is best for a man to find a true woman. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Thank you, Scorched Earth said trades. Exactly. Thank you, Well B said exactly. Says she gritted her teeth to admit the things KS stated, then shot down all of the good brothers who don't have degrees. Thank you, Real Bravado Networks at RBN 316 said Ebony can't get a husband. Of course you can't. Thank you, Blue Exodus. I said women online are now saying they can't listen to Ebony because she's not married, but don't they say they won't listen to y'all married ladies either because they ain't trying to listen to nobody. Thank you again, Well B said you are so you're on point, sis. I wasted my time, got 2 degrees that I don't even use now. I acquired a totally different skill, making good money. Exactly. See, that's open to men. Men are gonna become the mechanics. Men are gonna do that stuff. Like I said, women technically can get into them fields just because companies aren't going to discriminate on the books, but women are willingly, they're not gonna go. Women are not going to go into them fields. When's the last time you seen a female mechanic or a female, you know what I mean? She's not doing it. She's not doing it. It is what it is. Thank you so much, Alfwood said, appreciate your dedication. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's go on commercial break and then we're going to come back and finish cooking because I have a lot more things to say. But after these messages, we'll be right back.
Join PCTechForum.net is a new site. And so we'll be discussing everything related to tech news. They'll be discussing the latest processors, graphic cards, laptops, hard drives, computer cases. They also have a section for pre-built PCs and custom-built PCs and also a PC straight from the manufacturer. They also be discussing the operating systems and how to troubleshoot them. And said last but not least, they'll also be discussing the latest games and business. The site is brand new, so people will join for the first time on there. So come and sign up today at PCTechForum.net.
So you definitely want to hit the link that's hopefully at the top of the chat because I pinned it there for PCTechForum.net for all things PC, all things, software, hardware, whatever it is that you are interested in. If it has anything to do with PC, that's the place you want to go. Once again, PCTechForum.net. Go ahead, hit the link, become a part of the conversation, or start one of your own. I know I owe you a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button, bam, bam. You got to, So go ahead and hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we need because YouTube plays all our games. I know we got almost 1,400 people in here, so we're actually going to go back to it. Let's go back.
Out earn their women.
That we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD.
There was a video that just went.
She's saying herself that the degree, the money, the status for women does not mean anything. It doesn't make them more desirable. And that the women are devalued due to age. which is also a half truth. What put women in that position, though, Ebony? What put women in the position of feeling like they degree and their money and their this and their that made them more qualified than what they were to get the men that they wanted? It's women like you, Ebony. Just not a year ago, you told Iyanla, and every hyena backed you. When Iyanla said, would you date a bus driver? And you said the owner of the bus, and that's not what she asked you. And then she told you that's problematic. Everybody got on Auntie Iyanla. Oh, she's a pick me. Oh, she doing that pick me stuff. No, she's not. She was trying to tell you then what you want to get on camera and say now. Your money and your status didn't make you better than that man. If the man is a good man and he's marriage minded and he treats you right and all this other type of stuff, what's the problem? What's your problem? What's the problem? Trying to figure out what's the problem. Then she tried to flip it around. Well, would you? And she said, actually, yeah, I would. I would be with a bus driver. I would be with a bus driver. And Iyanla make more money than Ebony. By a long shot. So how did the women get into that? Because they've been listening to women like you, Ebony. This is why you don't get a cookie from me. Because how long have you spread the misinformation to Black women? How long have you spread the strong and independent mantra? How long have you spread the girl don't settle? How long have you said that? How long have you all gave Black women this false hope that if they earn enough money, or if they get the right degree, or if they go to school for a certain amount of time, or they have a certain kind of career or whatever, or they live in a certain place, or they dress a certain way, or they drive a certain car, that automatically made them eligible, that they could use that instead of being feminine, that they could use their degree and their money to stand in for their womanhood and their femininity that was lacking and missing. That the men had to accept their educational or career or financial accolades and just do without their femininity and womanhood. So now you don't get to push that strong and independent forever and then come and drop a little nugget in there talking about, oh, well, if you want to do it, you should do it in college or right after. Right. Ain't that what we said? Ain't that what we said? That if you want to get married, you should do that young and not old. Wait till you done been through all the men, or all the men done been through you. Now all of a sudden, when you 99 years old, you want to try to get locked down by somebody. Now nobody wants you. And ain't nobody shaming you because you got old. We shaming you because you didn't have sense enough to do it when you was young. That's why. Ain't nobody shaming women for getting old. We shaming you for being too stupid to do this when you was young. Should have did this when you was young. What's your problem? Get to these super chats. Thank you, Chano. Said Crimson Ice. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Ebony listens to Crimson. Value system, interesting. But which one? Circle or inverted pyramid? Exactly. Thank you, JS. White women, Latinas, and Asians have no problem seeing value in marrying blue-collar men and building a legacy with him for their children. Black women think that's beneath them and wonder why they're the least married. Thank you, Chrissy G. Said Crimson, I absolutely love you. Being a lioness in a hyena world can be lonely. Your content is always a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. And thank you, R1993. So they've been saying strong and independent. Quit the crying. Got what you wish for. Good show. Admire your content. AI technology going to replace her job soon. Yeah. My glass is always crooked. Look, I can't even help it at this point. Mainly because I don't put them behind my ears necessarily because they hurt. It hurt when I put them behind my ears. You could get married now, Ebony, if you didn't have your attitude and your mindset. You could get married now if you reprioritize what was important to you in a man and not just money. Why don't you drop down and come clean about where you really are emotionally? The loneliness that you actually feel. Why don't you tell young women about the reality of the wall and how they don't want to do that? How they don't want to follow in your footsteps with that because that was not a good idea. Really tell them why. Don't just say get married when you're young. No. Tell them why. Tell them why it's a bad idea to do it the way you did it. Tell them why that's a bad idea. Tell them why that didn't work. Tell them about how unfulfilled you are living in your nice place and driving your nice car and wearing your nice clothes and having your hair done all the time and having your nails done all the time and being able to travel when you want and being able to go out with your friends and all. Tell them about the loneliness it is when all of that stuff is done, when you're done filming for the day, when you're done talking to this one and talking to that one, when you're done, when the lights go out, when you have to sit there in that nice home by yourself. Tell them about that part. Tell them about you wanting that family and really that being your reality, having to go to a sperm bank to get sperm that's barely there, that you have to pay for and go through all of these procedures to have a child, something that you should have naturally been able to do when you were young. Tell them that part. Tell them about the part where you immerse yourself in work and interviews and this and that so you don't have to think about the fact that you don't have a man. Tell them about all them crazy thoughts that you have about the men that you wanted that's in your rearview mirror that you better not call because those men have moved on with their lives and they found wives and they found women and they had children. And you weren't a part of it because you didn't want to be a part of it because you thought you was too good to be part of it. Because at the time that you met him, he quote unquote wasn't on your level, so you dismissed him. Talk about that part. Tell them that part. Tell them about the part where you look in the mirror and you realize that you are not that young woman that you was 15 years ago, 10 years ago. You're not the same woman. And it's hard now because you're not with a man that's been with you that whole time and can appreciate your flaws and imperfections. But the fact that you being judged more harshly than ever because these men are looking at you and they're looking at an older woman. They don't know the younger Ebony. They only know the one they see in front of them. And the fact that you got the audacity to still be on your high horse about it. Tell them about the men in your past that saw a future with you and you knew they saw a future with you and you didn't want to do it. And it was for some frivolous, superficial reason. It wasn't even for a real reason. And now you regret it. Tell them about the regret. Tell them they're going to regret it. If they do not prioritize family, if they do not prioritize marriage, if they do not prioritize these things over and above a career, why? Because it will not benefit them in the long run. It don't fulfill you. She's still unfulfilled. Y'all young women need to ask why. Y'all young women need to ask why. Why is Eboni K, with all her money and this and that and her seeming success, why is she unfulfilled? If your degree's supposed to do it and your money's supposed to do it and your career's supposed to do it, then why isn't it done? If all of these things are supposed to make you empowered and make you strong and make you fulfilled and you're supposed to be all right and you're supposed to be healed and you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, unto yourself, then why didn't it happen? If riding the carousel and doing what you wanted to do was fulfilling, why is she in the position that she's in? If all of that was fulfilling, why is Brittany Renner going everywhere she could possibly go, whining and crying about the men that don't take her seriously and the men that won't wife her? Because you made yourself into a whore. And now you mad that the world see you and regard you as a whore. And you mad because men won't see you no differently. They certainly will not act with you any differently. They're going to treat you like the whore you presented yourself to be. If it was fulfilling, why aren't you happy? Thank you, Steve. Said sometimes you need a break from social media. Good to see you back. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Nia Moon said, given that Eboni K is not willing to date a bus driver and only lionesses are chosen by the very men she wants, Miss Williams will certainly grow old alone, and it's unfortunate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scorched Earth. So I've seen Latinas working with Latinos in construction, 5 men, 2 women, and they work in interdependence. Thank you so much, Simon said, cancel Eboni K. Enough said. Thank you, Randy said, here's another round. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Vincenzo says she has a syndicated judge show now, had cleaned up her image. She ain't really changed her mind. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Dr. Thunders. I wanted to send some support for your important work. Let's collab. Thank you so much. And thank you, Damien. Say you slow cook on cool day. You slow cooking on a cool day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hmm. You know what? I'm not going to do it. If one sees an evil being committed, he should stop it with his hands. If he is too weak to stop it with his hands, he should stop it with his tongue. And if he is too weak even to stop it with his tongue, he should at least hate it in his heart. But that is the least form of faith. Thank you, Chase and Crook said Ebony is so manly. She even sounds like a man. When will these strong independents learn that they turn off good men with their manly, uncooperative behavior? Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Teray, for your contribution. I greatly appreciate. Somebody want to be on comment section Sunday. I know that much. Somebody is petitioning real hard to get on comment section Sunday. I don't know if they gonna make it, but they petitioning. They petitioning. They petitioning real hard. And they putting in a ballot. You see what I'm saying? They putting it, you know what I'm saying? Put their name on the ballot. as an independent. They want to be an independent. They want to get on there. I don't do trolls though. We're not gonna highlight trolls on there. But I just want everybody to understand what you see in here. No cookies. A half truth is still a lie. A half truth is still a lie. Stop lying to these women about what they can get and what they can't get and why they can't get it. Do it young women. Get married young. Change your attitude and your mindset. All of this hoe is life and going with all these men till you 35 and then you gonna settle down. No. I don't care what kind of woke progressive mindset or social standard gets presented. Men do not value women that wait too long for that. Your value and your attractiveness and all of that kind of stuff actually goes down. Do it, strike when the iron is hot. If you've ever heard that expression before. Why is that expression an expression? Because when a blacksmith is creating something out of iron, it is only malleable when it is hot. The iron is only malleable when it is hot. When it's cold, it can no longer be shaped. So in order to shape and form iron, you must strike it when it is hot. That's where the expression comes from. Strike when the iron is hot. Strike when the iron is hot. The iron is hot when you are young. The iron is hot when you are malleable as a woman. The iron is hot when you understand your place as a woman. And that all this feminism and sexual liberation, that is not empowering you. That is not making you a better woman. It is destroying your value as a woman. And men know that. And no amount of indoctrination is going to change that. They're not going to see you any differently. Women have been fighting for the last 60 or 70 years to not be seen as sluts when they're being sluts. And men have not given in yet. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships and marriages went down. It's not because they don't like marriage. It's because they're gatekeeping it the way that they're supposed to. If you're not worthy, if the women in mass are not worthy to be married, then in mass, they will not get married. The men did a better job gatekeeping relationships than women did gatekeeping sex. Y'all give y'all sex to anybody. It's too bad, so sad. You were the gatekeepers of sex. You should have gatekeeped it. Should have been a better gatekeeper. Should have been better at your job. You had one job. You should have been better at it. If the men wasn't up to par and blah, 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 you should have cut the sex. No, we don't give free sex. We don't do hookup culture. You're not able to just come, you know what I'm saying, and spit a little game and get all the sex that you want out of all the women you want. No, we're not doing that. But y'all didn't do that. Y'all wanted to be thoughts. And y'all allowed this culture to tell y'all that being a thought was somehow more empowering to you as a woman. And it is not. It wasn't then, it's not now, and it will never be. The men did what they were supposed to do. When they realized that women in general were not worthy to be married, they just stopped marrying you. The men picked up on the fact that they were not the beneficiaries of marriage. They did not benefit. And point of fact, not only did they not benefit, they suffered from it. Not only because the mindset of the women was not wifely, but the environment, the courses, and all that kind of stuff worked against them. So they figured it out. Okay, so we just not gonna get married. It's women that have not figured out that thought culture and hoe culture and all that kind of riding the carousel now don't benefit you. You still ain't figured that out. No matter how many women run smack dab into that wall and come live to tell about it and come tell y'all you don't want to be on this wall, y'all study, go towards that wall a million miles per hour and then be getting mad. Ain't nobody got time for that. Thank you, Antonine. Said the Barbie movie, never watched it. Shows a scene with female garbage collectors. In real world, 87% of men are garbage collectors, while 13% of women are based on demographics. Don't believe the propaganda. I've been wanting to watch the Barbie movie just to pick apart the agendas in it, but I already know the agenda that's in it. So it's like, but thank you so much. It's a really good point. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for your generous contributions and wholeness and wellness to all you do. Crimson, respect, value, and character are key. Love is an action word. It definitely is. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And with that, we are going to cut out of here, but go to crimsoncure.com. Get your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, Lies of Feminism and Road to Recovery. The links are in the description box. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonite.